Well, my friends, if you've been with this channel for a while, then you know exactly what this video is. If you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel where I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment, all that good stuff on the regular. And every single month I make a little video known as the Blu-ray haul. This month I added 8 new movies to this big gigantic collection behind me. And this is always a really fun video, man, where I always get to shoot the breeze with you guys, talk about a random assortment of movies ranging from dramas all the way over to the superhero movies to the stupid comedies. Really never know what you're gonna find in this stack every single month. But guys, if you're new to the channel, do recommend becoming a subscriber and tap on that bell so you don't miss another second of the action, because I've got a lot of exciting things in the pipeline. Do me a favor and smash that thumbs up as well. Only really helps continue to grow this amazing community that we've already built together. But guys, this is no particular order. There are 4 old school titles and 4 brand new releases, and I will put links to those reviews for those new releases down in the description box below, as I usually do for these. First off, we're going to start with a hidden gem, and I'm sure there's a fair number of you who won't know what this movie actually is. My buddy Cameron actually recommended that I check this movie out. Shout out to you, my friend. But here it is, The Pledge. I mean, look at this. You have Jack Nicholson in this movie, and it completely fell under my radar. I actually very recently checked this out the other day, and I was really freaking impressed by it. This was actually directed by Sean Penn, and not only does it star Nicholson, there's a lot of famous people in here. You have Robin Wright, Benicio del Toro, a young Benicio del Toro is in here for a cup of coffee. Let's see, Mickey Rourke is in this for a little bit. Helen Mirren, Aaron Eckhart as well plays a young, plucky, up-and-coming cop. Jack Nicholson plays a retired police officer in this one, and he's basically going on the investigation of the murder of a little girl. And man, does this movie take twists and turns that may be hit or miss for some people. But I really enjoyed The Pledge for what it was. I think it's super unpredictable. It's a movie that's always keeping you on your toes, always keeping you guessing. The performances in this movie are crazy good across the board, especially with this leading turn from Jack Nicholson. Oh my god, one of the greatest actors to ever live. This is another one to add on to his resume. I thought the direction from Sean Penn was really good in this one too. Really nice wide shots in these snowy terrains. Really great location as well. If you haven't seen The Pledge, if this fell onto your radar as well, highly recommend this one. Well guys, I think it's about time you better lose yourself. And not just the music, the moment when you start to own 8 Mile on Blu-ray. I've been wanting to own this movie for a while. I thought it was super fun. I'm a huge fan of Eminem. Yeah, I know. At me. I don't care. I honestly, like, his music was a big reason why I got so fired up before I played a football game. That's right, I played football when I was a little kid for about 6 years or so. These songs always got me so pumped up to go out on the football field and all that stuff. And his music really does have that pump up feel in any facet of life. But as it stands on its own, 8 Mile is a really well made film. I think it's super well directed. Eminem himself, really great in here. The final rap battle that you get towards the climax, really freaking dope. If you missed 8 Mile, don't know what the heck you're doing, especially if you're a fan of Eminem. Ex Machina is the next one on this list. Finally owning this one in the collection. Alex Garland's first film, if I'm not mistaken. And this over Annihilation and Men, I think it's his best one. I love Alicia Vikander in this role. Who else is in this? I think Oscar Isaac is in it. Yeah, Oscar Isaac. Really freaking good in this one. And you know, there's just some titles that pop up on this stack that, I mean, it's hard for me to really explain why I own them. But just like The Waterboy in a previous haul, it's like, you know movies are dumb, but you kind of enjoy them for the nostalgic purposes, and you still kind of think parts of it are funny. As juvenile as it may sound, there's a lot to enjoy about Click. Adam Sandler does get to show off his dramatic chops, especially towards the third act. That's when this movie enters the year 2023 of all places. It's a really strong third act that's legitimately depressing. Those actors, seriously, are trying their damnedest to make you cry. And yeah, the first 2/3 or so kind of fall under that Happy Madison trope where you have the juvenile humor thrown into the mix. But I think the performances across the board, for what they are, pretty good. You have Kate Beckinsale in here as Adam Sandler's wife, and yeah, I'm not going to make a joke about how out of his league she is, but you have an iconic performance from Christopher Walken in here, and I think iconic might be stretching it using that term, especially when you're describing Click. But man, Christopher Walken is just so freaking entertaining. Now you see, this item is non-returnable. Okay, now we're getting into the new releases here. First up is Strange World. Look, This was a big financial flop for Disney, unfortunately, because I think there's some really decent aspects of this film. Really cool that they got Jake Gyllenhaal to play the lead character in this, Searcher Clade. And I think he does a solid job in here. The son character in here is really captivating as well. And I think the ideas they have about the strange world itself are super compelling and really interesting. I talked to my girlfriend recently about this movie, who watched it for the first time. Shout out to Lindsay. But she thought it was super boring. And there were a lot of people apparently who thought so too. And, you know, it's not hard to see why. Strange World does take a bit to really get into. It's a bit of a slow burn. But I think once you get into the plot twist and the whole idea behind what this Strange World actually is, it's a pretty interesting little look. Is this Disney's strongest movie by any stretch? Absolutely not. Doesn't hold a candle to instant classics like Tangled, Zootopia, Encanto, or dare I say even Frozen. This movie is certainly not in that league, anywhere close to it, but for what it is, I think it's a serviceable little animated movie. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, on the other hand, was anything but just a serviceable animated film. This actually appeared as number 12 in my best of the year countdown that I did recently. Look, if you were to have told me back in June of 2022 that this movie was going to be one of my favorites of last year, I would have told you you were nuts. But the themes of Puss in Boots himself overcoming this mortality, even though he's still this fearless, egotistical hero, I think it's a super fascinating character study. A lot of people have actually likened this to be the Logan of the Shrek universe, which might be a bit of a stretch. I cannot wait to relive this movie over and over again. The animation on this movie, yes, it is updated from the previous Shrek films, but it's just absolutely stunning to look at. I love the comic booky feel, especially on a repeat viewing. And yeah, this is a bit of a spoiler in case you haven't seen it, but this movie did have a pretty gigantic box office return. So thank you for the inevitable Shrek 5 movie that we're getting. Now up next, with the Oscars coming up in a couple of weeks, very fitting that I'm going to be talking about this next title because it's actually my pick to win Best Picture. And Best Director for that matter. We're going with the Fabelmans here on 4K. This is just what going to the movies and the reason why we watch movies, it's all encapsulated perfectly into this 2.5 hour masterwork. The direction in this movie, out of this world. Gabriel LaBelle is such a great revelation as our leading character. Michelle Williams absolutely deserved a Best Actress nomination. Paul Dano absolutely snubbed for Best Actor, but he chose his projects right in 2022 with this and The Batman. I adore The Fabelmans. If you've never seen it before, you're doing yourself a disservice. Especially if you want to actually get into film directing and getting into that industry and what have you. This is a great piece to look at. Last but not least, I had to add Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The craze of Quantumania in the theaters seems to be dying down a little bit, but I had to add the latest Marvel epic into the collection, the final movie in MCU's Phase 4, and in my opinion, the best MCU projects to come out last year. And of course, I had to get the Steelbook edition of it from Best Buy. This is the Wakanda edition, of course, with Shuri nice and big because she is the main character. You have Angela Bassett, who is a shoo-in to win Best Supporting Actress in a couple of weeks. I wanted to get the Namor edition so badly, but my Best Buy sold out of them. So I was like, you know what? This one will do. It's pretty enough. It'll sit on my shelf nicely with the first Black Panther Steelbook that I have. I just can't wait to relive it again. It's a really, really great movie. This movie had everything working against it, but I think all the talent involved absolutely hit a home run with it. There you have it, y'all. Those are all 8 new additions into the collection right here. One more reminder, hit that subscribe button and tap on that bell on your way out. Hit that like button as well. All tremendously helpful in continuing to grow this amazing community. And guys, stay tuned for more exciting videos hitting the channel very soon. Looks like a pretty packed month in entertainment when it comes to the month of March here. I'm going to be seeing Creed 3 this week to wrap up my Rocky playlist. You also have Shazam 2, Scream 6, John Wick 4. Seems like a month of sequels here. Lest I forget Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. Hopefully that movie fares better than the other D&D movie. But guys, we also have the Season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian in the TV world. I will absolutely be talking about Season 3 once all those episodes are out. But look out for my review of The Last of Us this month as well, because I have been so hooked into that show. I can't wait to get into it with you guys. God, there's clearly a lot to look forward to, guys. Also, look out for other wrestling podcasts hitting the channel very soon. I will be going to Revolution on Sunday in San Francisco, so that should be a lot of of fun. We're counting down the days until I drive down to WrestleMania 39 in the greater Los Angeles metropolitan area. I can't wait. And I can't wait to bring more awesome videos like this one to you guys. So, y'all are the best. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Look out for more fun videos very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence!